There's only one place on earth where they make this. Every single Super Bowl football, from the very first one ever played to the one that'll be thrown in next year's championship, comes from the exact same facility. Not multiple factories competing, not outsourced production. One building, one team. And they make thousands of them every single week. Today, we're going inside. Making a football isn't complicated. But making the football, the one that gets thrown in the Super Bowl in front of 100 million people, that's a completely different level of precision and responsibility. What you're about to see is the complete process. Every single stage. From raw cowhide arriving at the facility, all the way to a finished football being packaged and shipped to the championship game. Coming up, we're walking through the factory where this happens. But there's one specific stage in this process that most people have no idea exists. A stage that's almost entirely done by hand, using techniques that haven't really changed in decades. It's the reason these footballs are trusted to perform at the highest level of professional football. We'll get there. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with a question that most people never think to ask. Why does only one place make Super Bowl footballs? The answer isn't about secrecy or patents or some exclusive contract, though those things do matter. The real reason is simpler and more practical than that. Making a football that performs consistently at the highest level of professional football requires something that doesn't scale well in a typical manufacturing sense. It requires institutional knowledge. It requires precision that's built on decades of refinement. It requires people who understand, at a cellular level, how a football should feel, how it should perform, how it should respond in the hands of players who are literally the best in the world. That knowledge exists in one place, this facility, and nowhere else on earth does it exist in quite the same way. Think about what that actually means. Every single Super Bowl that's ever been played, every championship game that's ever mattered, the football used in that game came from this location. Not from multiple suppliers competing for the contract. Not from different factories producing slightly different versions. From here, one facility, one team of people. That's an extraordinary amount of responsibility concentrated in one place. So here's where the process actually begins, not with the football, but with the raw material. Cowhide selection and preparation. Every Super Bowl football starts with a single piece of cowhide. Not just any cowhide. This is premium-grade leather sourced specifically for football manufacturing. The quality standards are uncompromising. The hides have to meet criteria that most other leather manufacturers never even consider. They arrive at the facility in large, flat sheets, and they're immediately assessed by people who can read leather the way a sommelier reads wine. And the first step is something most people would find surprising. They sit. They rest. The leather needs time to acclimate to the factory environment before it gets worked. This isn't impatience or negligence, it's the opposite. It's understanding that leather has requirements, and rushing those requirements creates problems downstream. Temperature, humidity, time. All of these matter, because leather is a living material in a sense. It has memory, it has characteristics. It has variations that depend on where the cow was raised, what season it was processed, how the tanning was done. And if you start cutting and shaping it before it's ready, before it's acclimated, the football won't perform correctly weeks or months later when it's in a player's hands under game conditions. So the facility waits. The hides rest. The environment is controlled. And only when the leather has adjusted, when it's stable, when it's ready, only then does the actual work begin. This patience is built into the system. It's not a constraint, it's a feature. When that moment arrives, the cowhide moves into the cutting area. And here's where precision becomes absolutely critical. A Super Bowl football isn't made from one piece of leather. It's made from precisely cut panels, 8 panels of cowhide that will eventually be stitched together to form the iconic 2-piece football shape you recognize instantly. The cutting equipment is automated, but the setup and material selection is entirely human. Workers inspect each hide carefully, identify the best sections avoiding any defects or variations, and position them so the panels are cut from the highest quality leather on that entire hide. The cut has to be perfect, not just close, perfect, because even a millimeter of variation in one panel affects how all the other panels fit together. It affects the stitching tension. It affects the final shape and balance. It affects how the football performs in the air, how it feels in a quarterback's grip, how it responds to being caught. Everything downstream is affected by this one moment of precision. The lace stitching stage. Here's where things get genuinely interesting. And where the first piece of the puzzle, the one we mentioned in the introduction, starts to become visible. Each of those 8 panels has reinforcement laces stitched into them before they're even assembled into a football shape. These aren't the laces you see on the outside of the finished football. Those come later, as part of the assembly. These are internal laces, stitched along the edges of each panel to reinforce them structurally. to prepare them for the incredible stress that's coming when this football gets thrown by a professional athlete. The lacing is done on machines, but not the kind of machines you might expect to see in a typical factory. These are specialized, precision equipment designed specifically and only for this task. The thread is fed with exact tension too loose, and the reinforcement doesn't work, too tight, and the leather tears. The stitch pattern is absolutely consistent from one panel to the next. The speed is carefully controlled, because the reinforcement laces have to be perfect. They're literally holding the structural integrity of the football together before the panels are even assembled into the final form. This is still not the hand stitching we mentioned in the introduction. That stage is coming. But this automated lacing stage is crucial. It's the foundation everything else is built on. It's the invisible support system that allows the football to withstand the forces it will experience. Panel assembly and the hidden bladder. Once the panels are prepared and laced, they move to the assembly area. This is where the 8 individual panels start coming together, where the two-piece structure of the football begins to form. But here's the thing, before the panels are fully stitched together, something critical and invisible gets inserted into the center of the football. The bladder. This is a rubber interior sphere that holds the air inside the football. It's completely internal. You'll never see it from the outside once the football is finished, but its presence determines everything about how the football feels and performs. The pressure it holds, the way it responds to being thrown at 60 miles per hour, the consistency of how it bounces, how it feels when caught by a receiver running at full speed, all of that performance starts with the bladder. The bladder gets carefully inserted through an opening in the panels before the football is fully sealed. And once it's in place, that opening has to be precisely closed. Because if there's any gap, any imperfection in how that opening is sealed, the bladder can shift slightly. The football loses its balance, the weight distribution becomes uneven. It performs inconsistently. And at the Super Bowl level, at the level where every play matters, inconsistency isn't just unacceptable, it's unthinkable. The hand stitching where craftsmanship meets championship. This is the stage we've been building toward. This is what separates a football from the football. The panels are assembled, the bladder is inserted, and now the two halves of the football have to be stitched together. Not with a machine. Not with automation. With human hands. With needles and thread. With skill that's been developed over years of repetition and refinement. This is where the institutional knowledge really matters. These workers aren't just stitching leather together. They're creating the seams that will withstand the force of being thrown by a quarterback, generating hundreds of pounds of pressure with every pass. They're creating seams that have to last through an entire season of professional football without failing, without tearing, without any degradation. The stitch pattern is precise. Every stitch follows an exact path. The tension in the thread is consistent. You can feel it. The workers can feel it. The angle of each stitch is correct. And all of this is done by hand, stitch by stitch, seam by seam, without mechanical assistance. A single football requires hundreds of individual stitches, and every single one has to be perfect. What makes this stage so critical, what makes it impossible to fully automate, is that it requires something a machine can't replicate. The human hand can feel the leather. It can sense when something isn't quite right. It can make micro-adjustments that a machine operating on rigid programming simply can't. And after decades of doing this, after thousands of hours at the stitching table, these workers have developed an almost intuitive understanding of what right actually feels like. You can see it when you watch them work. There's a rhythm to it. A consistency, a flow, the way their hands move with absolute certainty and purpose. These are craftspeople in the truest sense, and their work is what allows these footballs to perform at the highest level of professional sports. Molding and shaping. After the hand stitching is complete, the football isn't yet fully formed. It needs to be shaped. It needs to be molded into its iconic football form, the precise curves and contours that make it recognizable and functional. The stitched panels go into a molding press. Heat and pressure are applied with extreme precision. The panels conform to the exact shape that's been engineered into the mold. The leather takes on the proper curve, the proper contours, the proper dimensions. But even this seemingly straightforward process has variables. Temperature matters. Apply too much heat, and the leather can lose its characteristics. Apply too little, and it doesn't conform properly. The duration of the pressure matters. The leather responds differently depending on its natural characteristics. So workers monitor this stage carefully, making adjustments based on what they observe, based on what they know about how that particular batch of leather will respond. The air valve and pressure testing. Once the football is molded into its final form, an air valve gets installed. This small but critical component is what allows a pump to inflate the football to the precise pressure required by NFL regulations. And speaking of pressure, This is where quality control becomes absolutely uncompromising. This is where the stakes become crystal clear. Every single football that comes out of this facility gets pressure tested. Not a sample, not a percentage, everyone. The football is inflated to exact specifications. The NFL requires very specific pressure ranges. It's measured with precision instruments. It's checked for consistency. Sensors verify that the pressure is holding correctly over time. And if a football doesn't meet the exact specifications, if it's even slightly off, if it drifts outside the acceptable range, it gets rejected. It doesn't move forward. It doesn't get packaged. It doesn't get shipped. It gets removed from the line. This isn't quality control in the conventional sense, where a certain percentage of defects is accepted as normal. This is championship-level quality control. Because these footballs will be thrown in front of 100 million people, they'll be used in plays that determine the outcome of the most important game in professional football. They have to be perfect. Not good. Not acceptable. Perfect. Branding and final inspection. Once a football passes pressure testing, it's ready for branding. The Wilson logo gets applied with precision. The NFL shield gets stamped in the exact correct location. Any other required markings are added. And even this stage has standards. The branding has to be perfectly positioned, perfectly clear, perfectly permanent. It's all part of the same uncompromising standard. After branding, each football goes through final inspection. Visual inspection for any surface defects or imperfections. Dimensional verification to ensure it meets exact size and weight specifications. And one more pressure test, just to be absolutely certain that nothing has changed, that the football still holds pressure correctly. Only after passing all of these stages, only after proving that it meets every single requirement, does the football get packaged and prepared for shipment. And somewhere in that facility right now, a football that will be thrown in the Super Bowl is moving through these exact stages. The same stages every football goes through, the same precision, the same care, the same responsibility. One facility, one team, making every football that matters. That's what it means for one place to make every Super Bowl football. Here's what's worth understanding. A piece of cowhide arrives at this facility. It gets cut with precision, reinforced with care, hand-stitched by craftspeople who understand what championship-level performance requires. It gets tested, inspected, verified not once, but multiple times. And a quarterback holds that exact football in their hands during the Super Bowl. That's not an accident. That's the result of one facility understanding that when you're the only place making something this important, you don't cut corners. You build a system where hand-stitching isn't inefficient, it's essential. Where testing isn't overkill, it's non-negotiable. That's why only one place on Earth makes every Super Bowl football. Because this is what happens when precision meets responsibility. If understanding how the world's most important products actually get made is what you're here for, hit like, subscribe, and stay close. Because what's coming next on this channel is built for exactly the kind of person who watched this all the way through. Drop a comment below and tell us which product or factory you want us to go inside next. Your suggestion might become our next video. See you inside the next one.